Ohio Governor Mike DeWine calling for prop bets to be banned in the state, said in a statement, quote, "The evidence that prop betting is harming athletics in Ohio is reaching critical mass. A particular problem is with micro prop bets on highly specific events within games that are completely controlled by one player." Also added, "The harm to athletes and the integrity of the game is clear, and the benefits are not worth the harm. The prop betting experiment in this country has failed badly." And this, of course, comes in Ohio specifically following the news of Guardians pitchers Luis Ortiz, Emmanuel Clase being put on leave as part of MLB's gambling investigation that's ongoing.
Wait, why were they put on leave?
For the gambling investigation of the bets.
So they were caught.
Correct. So this is
okay. All right. I'm just making sure. I mean, I just want to make sure that we understand what's happening.
So
here, right?
This is what I was going to say. It's funny that that this whole argument is essentially blaming the people who bet on this stuff rather than the people who do it.
All right.
Right? Like, shouldn't you be more upset that the players are doing this stuff versus the betting themselves?
Well, it's that, and it's something where I think that when we have these conversations and the people who don't really understand how it works, when they check in on these sort of things, I think they miss the mark, right? Where it comes to, look, they were found for a reason, right? It was bet on in a regulated market that has the parameters in place to track abnormal betting patterns and thus catch these people that are doing said things. And when you take this away from being monitored in regulated markets, when you do these sort of things, well, then the nefarious stuff starts to happen in areas of the world in which you don't get to track it, which you don't get to see it. And that, to me, is the problem, which misses the mark. Florio put this up, too, in his column yesterday when he wrote about it. And part of the column stuck out to me because he writes, "The debate will prompt some in the media to oppose a prop bet ban, especially those whose nest is feathered by sportsbook money. The basic argument is that if prop bets aren't available through legal means, gamblers will flock to offshore outlets and or their local bookies. Regardless, a ban would move." It's like, well, you can't just say regardless. That's the whole point. And you kind of just gloss over that when you're talking about removing that from the area in which it is. And as I've always stated when we bring these things up, when you start to remove things, when you start to push more people offshore, it's not only about the nefarious thing. It's that problem gamblers now move away. They can easily go do that. They can feed their issue and not really have any sort of parameter set in place for them as well. Like there's more to it than just, hey, these guys got caught and I don't like it, so we have to remove it. They're going to continue to do it, but they've been caught. Every single one of these things that we're talking about, Tara Rozier, Jonte Porter, they have been caught and they have been investigated because of the system that's in place.
Yes, the bets are flagged because of all of the things that they do as a legalized operation. So now, if you eliminate these things, they're going to go offshore. You're no longer going to be able to collect your tax dollars from it either. And my thing, again, just to go back to the player, is there are rules in place about this, right? It's called your Major League Handbook. There are things that if you do these types of things, you're going to be banned. And if that's a price you're willing to pay, then I don't know why you need to limit, I guess, the everyday person that's just having fun and doing bets. There's also serious limits on those types of bets. It's not like you can get down big $100,000 bet on a micro bet. That doesn't exist. And I know that this is big and probably overstating it, but whenever these types of things come up, I think about, okay, are you going to start taking away legalized drinking because people get in bar fights and DUIs? Because that's a lot more prevalent than this. But no, you're not.
That's a whole other thing, too, which I would agree with you in general. It's funny. I was, again, like Florio's getting my ire just because I was reading his column. It's not just him. But I did a search, for example, because in part of the column as well, he said it would also, removing these props, minimize the venom directed to individuals who failed to hit the overs on one or more of their various props. And so I kind of searched his mentions, and I just put the word beer, right? And he's like, can't wait to have a beer, beer guy. Beer. It's like beer has become synonymous with sports and sporting events and drinking. Drinking has done a lot of damage to our country, to individuals' lives, things like that. And yet it's a vice that is readily accepted around the country because the vast majority of people still do it. And like you're mentioning, how often have we heard about people getting drunk, doing these things at sporting events, saying these awful things without the impact of sports betting around it? But for some reason, because it is a newish vice, then it is vilified more to an extent. I'm with you. Like, the whole vilification of sports betting is something I just haven't really understood when there's other vices around this country that are readily accepted as well.
And to take it to a lesser vice conversation, but if you're talking about the harm to athletes and how mad people get, are you going to take away fantasy football as well? Because people have just been just as vile with their fantasy teams over the course of the years than they have been sports betting.
Thanks for watching, but don't let the betting insights end here. If you want an extra edge this football season, you can get a month of VSiN Pro right now absolutely free. That means access to our betting insights and analysis and tools like our betting splits at zero cost to you. Click the link in the description to sign up.